Hi students, today we are going to see the theory of forced oscillations, or we can say the forced vibrations. So in theory of forced vibrations, we are going to assume a particle which is fixed to the rigid end through a spring. Okay, so this is the mass. So now externally we are applying some force to make the body to oscillate. So normally the theory of damped oscillation speaks that we are not applying any external force. This external force will be zero. So when we stretch the mass or stretch the spring, the body will be oscillating, the spring system will be oscillating to and fro motion like this. So at last, at some point of time, it will come to rest, to come to equilibrium position. But here in the case of forced oscillation, when we apply the external force continuously such that it will not come to the damped condition. So this is called theory of forced oscillations. So for this we are going to derive the expression for forced vibrations for an object which is oscillating with the external force. So now what are all the forces acting on the system? Suppose let us say, for an example, for our convenience, I am going to assume a pendulum. So the pendulum is going to oscillate like previous case. So if there is no external force, at some point of time it will come to rest. Here let us assume that I am going to apply some external force F here. So now what are all the forces acting on the system? The first one is A, the acceleration of the pendulum is oscillating with the frequency. Second, the resistive force, the resistance. The third one, the restoring force. So like a previous case, that is even for a damped oscillation, we have the restoring force, resistive force, the amplitude of the oscillating system, the acceleration of the oscillating system, and the one more force in this particular case is nothing but the forced oscillation, that is the external force which acts over the system. The external force which acts over the system. So by keeping in mind, we are going to write all these forces with respect to the mathematical expression. The first one, the force F is equal to ma of an oscillating system. So what is F is equal to ma? That is nothing but m into d square x by dt square. So the force of an oscillating system must be equal to all other three forces. What are all the forces? The resistance offered by the system minus r into dx by dt, the restoring force offered by the system minus k into x, the last one, the applied force F sin pt. So I repeat once again, there are four forces. The first one, the force of an oscillating system, m into d square x by dt square, which is equal to the resistive force minus r into dx by dt, the restoring force minus kx, and the force which is applied externally to make the oscillating system in order to not to decrease the amplitude of it. So that is F sin pt. So the F sin pt, in which P is the angular frequency of the oscillating system, F is magnitude, and T as usual. So F sin pt is the force of an external which is acting over the oscillating system. This is very important. So once if you put up all these things in the equation form, so it comes m into d square x by dt square is equal to minus r dx by dt minus kx plus F sin pt. Here the minus sign indicated here, which acts in the opposite direction of this accelerating body, and plus F sin pt, which acts in the positive direction of this oscillating system in order to stop the damping which occurs in the oscillating system. Is it clear? So now we have written in the form of equation. So we have to equate it in the form of second order differential equation. So m into d square x by dt square, take these two terms to the left hand side. M into d square x by dt square plus r into dx by dt plus kx is equal to F sin pt. So divide this entire equation by m. So you will be getting the second order differential equation, in which the second order equation, the coefficient of it will be 1, right? So now we will see what happens. So when we rearrange it, you will be getting d square x by dt square. We divided the equation by m, so that the coefficient of d square x by dt square will become 1 here, plus r by m dx by dt plus k by m into x is equal to f by m sin pt. So as like the previous case, we are going to substitute the constant values. R by m is equal to 2b, omega square is equal to k by m, like previous case, that is in case of damped oscillation. Then here omega is equal to square root of k by m. When we substitute it, you will be getting d square x by dt square plus 2b dx by dt plus omega square x is equal to f by m sin pt. The second order solution of this equation is x is equal to a sin pt minus alpha. This is a general solution for this second order differential equation. Now, when you see this equation, x is the displacement of the oscillating system, a is the amplitude of the oscillating system, and pt minus alpha is the angular frequency of this oscillating system. Now, here we got the general solution x. So we have to determine what is a and what is alpha, the unknown parameter, what is a and what is alpha, a of the oscillating system. Right, how we are going to get the a of the oscillating system? We have to differentiate this equation and you have to submit it to this one, and you will get the amplitude of this oscillating system. So let us differentiate this equation 4. So dx by dt, is equal to a sin pt minus alpha. So sin pt minus alpha, when you differentiate it, you will get cos pt minus alpha. So dx by dt is equal to ap. Because we are going to differentiate with respect to t, you will get p here. So ap cos pt minus alpha. When you differentiate once again one more p will appear. Cos alpha, when you differentiate, you will get minus sin alpha. So minus ap square sin pt minus alpha. So substitute this value of dx by dt. Substitute this value dx by dt and d square x by dt square. So this value dx by dt you are going to substitute here, and d square x by dt square I am going to substitute here, and the x value I am going to substitute here. When we substitute all these equation to the above one general solution, so when you substitute it, you will be getting minus ap square sin pt minus alpha, that is d square x by dt square. So dx by dt is minus ap square sin pt minus alpha. Then second term you will be getting 2b dx by dt. So in which 2b is here, dx by dt is nothing but ap cos pt minus alpha plus omega square x will be there. So omega square a sin pt minus alpha, that is equal to f by m sin pt. So here we are going to write f by m sin pt in terms of f by m sin pt minus alpha plus alpha, just adding and subtracting alpha in order to get sin of a plus b form. So once we get sin of a plus b form, we are going to write it sin a cos b and cos a sin b. This is a, let us say this is my b. Sin a cos b plus cos a sin b, I am writing it in the right hand side. So f by m is constant, sin a sin pt minus alpha, cos b cos alpha, plus f by b cos pt minus alpha into sin alpha. So the left hand side becomes as usual, just I am going to rearrange this equation. So minus ap square sin pt minus alpha will come as it is, but omega square I am writing as the second term, and this term I am going to write it as a third term. That's all. So when I write all these equations, it will be in this form. Then I have to compare the coefficients of sin pt minus alpha and cos pt minus alpha. So sin pt minus alpha coefficient, left hand side, this is my sin pt minus alpha coefficient, sin pt minus alpha coefficient. So it will be written minus ap square plus omega square. Right hand side sin pt minus alpha coefficient, f by m cos alpha, f by m cos alpha. So it will be written here minus ap square plus omega square a is equal to f by m cos alpha. Similarly, we have to write cos pt minus alpha coefficient. So here cos pt minus alpha coefficient is 2b ap. So 2b ap is written here, and cos pt minus alpha coefficient f by m sin alpha. So f by m sin alpha it is here. So we have written this equation 6 and 7. So when you square it and add these two equations, so omega square a minus ap square the whole square plus 2b ap. So this is what it is here. Omega square a it is taken outside. So omega square minus p square, minus I am writing it second here. So omega square minus p square into a the whole square plus 2b ap the whole square is equal to f by m cos alpha, so cos square alpha. Similarly here if you add this one, so you will be getting sin square alpha. So you have to add these two equations, equation 6 and 7. So you will be getting a omega square minus p square the whole square plus 2b ap plus here f by m is common in both the cases, right hand side. So f by m I am taking outside, cos square alpha plus sin square alpha. So what happened to this cos square alpha sin square alpha? It becomes 1. So the final equation will become like this. So a square omega square minus p square the whole square plus 4b square p square. The a square is common in both the cases. I am taking a square outside. So a is equal to f by m square root of 4b square p square plus omega square minus p square the whole square. So in that expression x is equal to a sin pt minus alpha, we got what is a here. So we got the final solution. X is equal to f by m square root of 4b square p square plus omega square minus p square the whole square sin pt minus alpha. Then we have to calculate what is alpha here. So by considering those two equations, that is equation 6 and 7, so cos alpha sin alpha is there. So we can calculate tan alpha. So equation 7 divided by equation 6. So equation 7 is sin alpha, equation 6 is cos alpha. Sin by cos, you will be getting tan. F by m will be there. Those two will get cancelled on right hand side. So tan alpha is equal to 2b ap divided by this value. Alright. So we will see this equation. So 2b ap tan alpha is equal to 2b ap divided by a into omega square minus p square. So a will getting cancelled. So tan alpha is equal to 2bp by omega square p square. This is the final expression. So what is alpha here? Alpha is equal to tan inverse of this value. Tan inverse of this value. Okay. Thank you.